Imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for spare change, and bam, you find a penny. But not just any penny. A 1993 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth a jaw-dropping $3 million. That's right, folks, one little penny could make you an instant millionaire. Sounds crazy, right? Well, grab your change jar because today we're breaking down why this penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and how you can cash in on rare coins hiding in plain sight. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. And trust me, you don't want to accidentally spend a fortune on a pack of gum. All right, let's talk about this legendary 1993 no-mint Mark penny. First, you might be wondering why no-mint Mark? Normally, Lincoln cents from 1993 were made in Philadelphia, no-mint Mark, Denver, D-mint Mark, and San Francisco, S-mint Mark. But this particular penny isn't just any Philly mint cent, it's an ultra-rare error coin, possibly a misstrike or a special test piece that somehow escaped the mint. Whatever the reason, its rarity has sent collectors into a bidding frenzy, driving the price up to $3 million. No-mint Mark. Sounds simple, right? But not every 1993 Philly penny is valuable. This specific one has unique characteristics, which leads us to striking and errors. Experts believe this penny has an unusual strike, possibly a doubling or a special composition. If you think you've got one, you'll need an expert to authenticate it. Condition matters. Coins graded MS 68 or higher fetch the biggest bucks. If yours has been chilling in your pocket for years, it might not hit that level. But hey, even a lower grade version could be worth something. Now you might be thinking, okay, but what are the chances of me actually finding one? Let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, Mike, used to joke that his coin collection was just a fancy way of hoarding spare change. One day he came over, dumped a bunch of pennies on my table and said, "All right, coin guy, tell me if I'm rich." We started sorting through them, and he actually had a rare 1972 double-die penny worth a few $100. Was it $3 million? No, but it paid for a pretty nice steak dinner. The moral of the story? Rare coins are out there, you just have to look. So what's the takeaway? Check your change. That penny sitting in your car's cup holder or stuck in your couch could be life-changing. The best part? You don't need to be a coin expert to get started, just a little curiosity and a keen eye. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more tips on valuable coins and smart collecting strategies. Who knows? The next millionaire coin hunter could be you. Imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change to buy a coffee, and bam, you pull out a plain old penny. But wait, what if I told you that one little 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $8 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Not $8, not $800, $8 million. That's a house in Beverly Hills, a fleet of sports cars, and a lifetime supply of pizza all wrapped up in a single coin. Today, we're talking about this rare and valuable penny, how it got so crazy expensive, and most importantly, how you might have one sitting in your pocket right now. So, grab your loose change, check that piggy bank, and let's get into it. What makes this penny so special? Now, if you're thinking, it's just a 1988 penny, what's the big deal? You're not alone. Most of these pennies are worth 1 cent, as they should be. But every now and then, a printing mistake at the US Mint creates something special. This particular 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny has a unique error, a small but mighty detail in the lettering and design that makes it incredibly rare. Experts believe it was struck using the wrong die, probably an early test strike that somehow got mixed into circulation. And guess what? Only a handful of these exist today. How much is it worth? Here's where things get insane. A collector recently paid $8 million for one of these bad boys at an auction. That's right. Someone traded a penny for the kind of money that could buy an island. And before you ask, no, I didn't buy it. If I had that kind of cash, I'd be filming this video from a yacht instead of my living room. Could you have one? Now, the real question, is there a chance you have one of these valuable pennies? Short answer, yes. These pennies were mass-produced, meaning that some might still be out there hiding in coin jars, old piggy banks, or even stuck under your car seat. The trick is knowing what to look for. How to spot the $8 million penny? All right, grab your magnifying glass, because here's what you need to check. Date and mint mark. It should be 1988 and have no mint mark, meaning it was made in Philadelphia. Close AM versus wide AM on the back of the penny. The spacing between the letters A and M in America is crucial. The rare variety has them super close together. The FG initials, look for the initials FG near the Lincoln Memorial. If they're slightly different than usual, you might have a winner. If you find a penny that checks all these boxes, congrats, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, once laughed at me for checking my change every time we went out. He said, "Dude, it's just pennies, chill." Well, guess what? One day I convinced him to actually check his pennies. And boom, he found a rare error penny worth over $1,000. Let's just say, Dave doesn't laugh at me anymore. In fact, he now carries a magnifying glass in his wallet like some kind of coin detective. Moral of the story? Never underestimate your spare change. Alright, folks, now it's your turn. Go check your pennies. Yes, right now. You never know, you could be sitting on life-changing money. And hey, if you found this video helpful, funny, or just mildly entertaining, hit that subscribe button. I drop weekly videos on rare coins, valuable finds, and tips on how to turn your spare change into real cash. Also, don't forget to like this video and drop a comment if you're going to check your coins after this. Who knows? Maybe one of you will be the next lucky person to find an $8 million penny. You're digging through your couch cushions, hoping to find some spare change for a coffee, and boom, you find a penny. But not just any penny. What if that little copper coin was worth $6 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, and if you have one, let's just say, you might want to cancel your weekend plans and call a coin appraiser instead. Stick around because I'm breaking down why this penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and most importantly, how you can turn pocket change into life-changing money. Plus, I'll share a quick story about the time I almost lost a valuable coin in the dumbest way possible. So, what makes this 1986 Lincoln penny so special? I mean, it looks just like any other penny, right? Wrong. Here's the deal. Most pennies have a tiny letter under the date, either AD for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But some of these 1986 pennies have no mint mark at all, and those are the ones collectors are drooling over. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so it's missing a little letter, big deal. But that tiny detail makes a huge difference. The US Mint accidentally left off the mint mark on a small number of these coins, and because of their rarity, they're now worth a staggering $6 million at auction. Yep, one tiny mistake at the mint and suddenly your average 1-cent coin is more valuable than a Lamborghini, a beach house, and probably everything in your Amazon cart combined. So, how do you know if you have one? Check the date. It must be 1986. Look under the date. If there's no mint mark at all, you might have a winner. Check the condition. The better shape it's in, the higher the value. Now, let me tell you a quick story about why checking your spare change is so important. A few years back, I found an older coin in my drawer, thought, it's probably nothing, and almost tossed it in a vending machine for a bag of chips. Luckily, I decided to look it up first. Turns out, it was worth a couple $100. Let's just say, those chips would have been the most expensive snack of my life. Moral of the story? Always check your change. You never know when you might be holding on to something worth millions. If you love learning about valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the next big discovery. Who knows? Your next trip to the grocery store could make you rich. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, and let me know what other coins you want me to cover next. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Would you like any tweaks or additions? ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. Imagine this. You're digging through your pocket change, looking for a quarter for the vending machine, and bam, you find a penny that could make you a millionaire. Sounds crazy, right? But guess what? There's a 1985 Lincoln penny out there worth a mind-blowing $5 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Worth millions? Yeah, right. But trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be checking every single penny you come across. Stick around, because today we're talking about why this little copper coin could be your golden ticket. So, what makes this 1985 penny worth more than a mansion, a luxury car, and an all-you-can-eat taco subscription for life? It all comes down to errors and rarity. Back in 1985, the Denver Mint struck billions of pennies. Most of them totally normal, but a few had a crazy minting error that makes them insanely valuable. We're talking about a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's features look slightly doubled, especially in the date and lettering. If you spot one, congratulations, you might just be holding a fortune. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, used to make fun of me for collecting pennies. He'd be like, "Bro, why are you hoarding these? They're worth 1 cent. Fast forward to last year, he finds a 1985 D penny in an old jar, jokingly asks me to check it, and guess what? It was one of the rare ones. Long story short, he's now a multimillionaire, and I still haven't forgiven him for laughing at my hobby. Moral of the story? Check your pennies. A clear doubling in the date and lettering, strong details on Lincoln's face, and bowtie, no heavy wear or damage, condition matters big time. If you think you have a special one, get it authenticated by a professional grader like PCGS or NGC. The better the condition, the higher the price, and trust me, you want yours looking crisp and clean. Alright, so now you know that little 1985 D penny in your change jar could be worth millions. Don't be like past Mike, ignoring coins that could change your life. Start checking your pennies, ask your friends and family if they have old jars lying around, and who knows, you might just find a jackpot. If you love learning about hidden treasures in your pocket, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more crazy coin stories and money-making tips coming your way. And if you find a rare penny, let me know in the comments. I'd love to celebrate with you, or just cry because it wasn't me who found it. Imagine this. You're digging in your pocket for some spare change, maybe for a vending machine snack, and boom, you're holding a penny that could make you a millionaire. Yep, a regular OL 1984 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, and it could be worth a whopping $4 million. Now, before you go flipping your couch cushions and emptying your piggy bank, stick with me because I'm going to tell you exactly what makes this penny so valuable, how you can spot one, and why the world of coin collecting is way crazier and more profitable than most people think. Also, I've got a hilarious personal story about a penny mishap that still haunts me to this day. So stay tuned for that. Alright, let's get into it. So, what makes this little copper coin so special? First, let's talk about the no mint mark situation. In 1984, pennies were mostly minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The ones from Philadelphia usually don't have a mint mark, which is normal, but there's a rare version with a unique die error that turns it into a treasure. The secret is in the doubling. This penny has a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's features, the word liberty, and the date look like they've been copied slightly off-center. Basically, it's like the mint had one too many cups of coffee that day and hit print twice. Now, here's where things get crazy. In perfect condition, one of these pennies sold for $4 million. Imagine paying off your house, buying a dream car, or just flexing on everyone by paying for dinner in pennies. Now, for my personal story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market browsing through this old coin collection some guy was selling. I found a 1984 penny that looked a little off. I asked how much, and the guy said, just take it for free. It's just a penny. I was thrilled, until I got home, grabbed my magnifying glass, and realized it was just a regular 1984 penny.
No doubling. No fortune.
Just a humble 1-cent heartbreaker. Lesson learned, always double-check your finds. So, what did we learn today? Check your 1984 pennies for doubling, especially around Lincoln's face, liberty, and the date. Condition matters. A near-perfect penny can be worth millions, while a worn one still holds value. Coin collecting is full of surprises. You never know when you might strike gold or, in this case, copper. If you love finding hidden treasure in your pocket change, make sure to subscribe for more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and strategies to turn your spare change into serious cash. And if you've ever found a weird or valuable coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Alright, happy hunting, and may your next penny be a millionaire maker. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket and realizing it's worth a life-changing $9 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, buckle up because today we're talking about the 1979 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's turning heads in the coin collecting world. So, What makes this little copper beauty worth a jaw-dropping $9 million? Let's break it down. Back in 1979, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies, mostly in Philadelphia, which is why they didn't bother putting a mint mark on them. But every now and then, the minting process throws us a curveball. Certain errors, rare variations, and pristine conditions can make an ordinary coin skyrocket in value. This specific 1979 no mint mark penny is not just rare. It's like finding a unicorn in your backyard. Only a handful have been discovered in flawless condition, making them highly sought after by collectors willing to pay top dollar. And by top dollar, I mean enough money to buy a private island and a lifetime supply of tacos. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, rummaging through an old jar of pennies, when I came across a 1979 penny that looked almost brand new. My heart started racing, my hands got sweaty. I thought I hit the jackpot. I rushed home, did some research, and turns out it was just a regular penny worth, well, 1 cent. But hey, that's the thrill of the hunt. You never know when luck is going to strike. So, how do you know if your 1979 penny is worth millions? First, check for any unusual errors, like doubling in the lettering or a misprint. Next, look at the condition. If it's in pristine, uncirculated shape, you might be holding a winner. And finally, get it authenticated by a professional grading service to confirm its value. Now, before you dump your piggy bank all over the floor, let me hit you with a reality check. While the $9 million penny is out there, most 1979 pennies are only worth face value. But that doesn't mean you should stop looking. Plenty of coins in circulation are worth way more than you'd expect. If you love the thrill of the treasure hunt and want to learn more about coins that can turn spare change into serious cash, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll keep you updated on rare finds, valuable coins, and the best strategies to make money from your pocket change. Who knows? Your next penny could be your ticket to millions. You're digging through your old change jar, looking for a quarter to feed a stubborn parking meter, and boom, you pull out a plain old 1978 Lincoln penny. Nothing special, right? Wrong. What if I told you that one of these little copper coins sold for $8 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $8 million. That's the kind of money that lets you retire early, buy an island, and hire someone to flip your pancakes in the morning. So, how does a simple no mint mark penny from 1978 turn into a jackpot? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about what a no mint mark penny actually is. If you look at a penny and don't see a little letter under the date, that means it was made at the Philadelphia Mint, which, fun fact, didn't start using a mint mark until 1980. So, a 1978 penny without a mint mark is actually pretty common. But here's where it gets interesting. Some rare pennies from this year were struck with an error or unique composition. We're talking about off-metal strikes, double dies, or even some experimental test coins. These rare flukes make collectors lose their minds and open their wallets big time. One particularly rare specimen, a 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny, recently sold for an unbelievable $8 million at auction. Why? Because of an ultra-rare error, an extremely high-grade condition, and a collector willing to drop more money on a penny than most of us will ever see in our lifetime. It's the kind of thing that makes you want to grab a magnifying glass and start inspecting every penny you've ever touched. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if my 1978 penny is worth millions? Here's what to look for. If it looks like it was made yesterday with no scratches, dents, or wear, it's got a shot at being valuable. Look for doubling in the letters or Lincoln's face, weird misprints, or anything that seems off. Some rare versions were accidentally struck on the wrong metal, so weighing your penny can be a game changer. A professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC can verify if you've hit the jackpot or just have a really nice penny. Okay, so real talk. A few years ago, I found an old penny in my car's cup holder, completely stuck to the bottom, covered in what I can only describe as mystery goo. I pried it off, wiped it down, and thought, hey, maybe it's one of those rare coins. So I checked online, compared it with listings, even got my hopes up a little. And guess what? It was worth exactly 1 cent, but that moment made me realize something. People are finding valuable coins every single day. Some guy in Ohio found a rare penny in his grandpa's attic and sold it for thousands. Another collector spotted a rare quarter in a vending machine. So, If I can get hyped over a sticky, worthless penny, imagine the thrill of actually finding one worth millions. The bottom line? Don't underestimate the power of pocket change. That 1978 no-mint mark penny in your drawer might not buy you a private jet, but it could be worth checking out. If you've got an old coin collection or just a pile of random change, start looking. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you love discovering hidden treasures in everyday life, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'm always sharing tips on valuable coins, rare finds, and ways to turn spare change into serious cash. Hit that like button, drop a comment if you've ever found a weird coin, and Have you ever casually checked your pocket change and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one of those just a pennies could be worth a jaw-dropping $8 million? Yep, I'm talking about the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a rare beauty that has collectors foaming at the mouth and banks wondering why people keep bringing in mason jars of pennies. Before you run off to flip over your couch cushions, stick around because today we're diving into what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot one, and why it could literally change your life. And hey, if you're new here, welcome. I'm your friendly neighborhood coin nerd. If you love learning about pocket change that can turn into a paycheck, make sure to hit that subscribe button because trust me, you don't want to miss what I've got coming next. Alright, let's get into it. What's so special about the 1968 no-mint mark penny? Now, most 1968 pennies have a little letter under the date, either AD for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But every now and then, a few sneaky ones slip through without any mint mark at all. That's where things get interesting. Because this isn't a case of, oops, we forgot to stamp it. This is a rare mint error that makes collectors go absolutely wild. Imagine finding out your grandpa's old penny jar is actually a mini treasure chest. That's exactly what happened to a guy named Mike from Ohio. He was rolling up pennies to take to the bank when he noticed one was different. No mint mark, still had that classic Lincoln design. Turns out he was holding on to one of the rarest pennies ever made. And boom, he was suddenly a millionaire. Talk about luck. How to spot one in your change now if you're thinking, okay, how do I know if I have one? Here's what to look for. White heavy check mark the year. 1968. Duh. But important. White heavy check mark, no mint mark below the date. White heavy check mark, sharp details. No excessive wear or damage. White heavy check mark, a copper composition. Not zinc like newer pennies. If you find one that checks all the boxes, don't just toss it back in the coin jar. Get it checked out by a professional grader because you might be sitting on millions. Why is it worth $8 million? Now, let's talk money. Why in the world would a little copper coin be worth more than a mansion? Here's the deal. Rarity plus demand equals $. There are only a few known examples of this error, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own one. Think about it, if you were a serious collector, wouldn't you want one of the rarest pennies in history? That's why auctions have seen these sell for insane amounts, with the most valuable one hitting a staggering $8 million. Imagine paying for your dream house with a single penny. Wild, right? Alright folks, now that you know the 1968 no mint mark penny could make you rich, it's time to check your change. Look in your pockets, dig through old piggy banks, raid that coin jar on top of the fridge, because you never know what you might find. And if you find one, first off, congratulations. Second, don't rush to sell it for a couple of bucks. Get it graded, do your research, and cash in for the big money. If you love learning about coins that can turn into fortune finders, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more mind-blowing coin stories coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. You're digging through an old jar of pennies, thinking maybe, just maybe, you'll find something special. And then bam, you stumble upon a 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Seems like just another penny, right? Wrong. What if I told you one of these little copper coins could be worth $7 million? Yep, you heard that right, $7 million. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your couch cushions, stick around because I'm about to tell you why this penny is so valuable, how you can spot one, and what to do if you find it. And trust me, you don't want to miss this because I've got a crazy personal story about how I almost lost out on a small fortune thanks to my grandma's dog. But more on that later. So, let's talk about the 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. First things first, no mint mark pennies from 1967 are actually common. because that year the US Mint didn't put mint marks on any coins. Sounds like a bad start for a rare coin, huh? But here's where it gets spicy. One specific 1967 penny somehow ended up with a unique error. An ultra-rare misprint combined with an odd double die strike. This isn't your average, I found a weird-looking penny situation. This is a one-of-a-kind anomaly, and collectors are obsessed with it. Sold at auction for, drumroll please, $7 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, but how do I know if I have the $7 million penny? Here's what to look for. Doubling in the letters on the front, especially in Liberty, and the date at a super sharp strike. This one wasn't just any regular 1967 penny. It was struck differently. A slightly off-center design, and of course it must be in pristine condition. We're talking about a penny that's been living the good life, not one that's been rolling around in a parking lot since the 70s. Alright, let's get back to my story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. You know, the place where all forgotten treasures and questionable Christmas gifts go to die. We found a dusty old piggy bank, and inside were a bunch of pennies. I pulled out a 1967 no mint mark penny and joked, "Hey, maybe this is worth $1 million." We both laughed, until her dog ran up, snatched it out of my hand, and swallowed it whole. Fast forward to 2 vet visits and 1 very expensive surgery later, and I had my penny back. Turns out it wasn't worth much. But for a brief moment, I thought I had just witnessed a multi-million-dollar snack. Lesson learned: always check your change before your pets do. So, what's the takeaway? Check your pennies. The odds of finding the $7 million 1967 penny are slim, but rare coins are hiding in plain sight. People have found coins worth thousands of dollars in their pocket change, at yard sales, even in old piggy banks. And if you love learning about hidden treasures and how to spot coins worth serious cash, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and crazy stories to share. Who knows? Your next penny might just be worth a fortune. Today we're talking about a little coin with a big price tag. The 1960 Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1 million. Yep, you heard that right, 1 cent that could make you a millionaire. Imagine finding one of these in your old piggy bank. That's like hitting the jackpot without even buying a ticket. So let's break it down. What makes this tiny copper coin worth a fortune? Well, it's all about the details. The 1960 Lincoln penny had 2 variations, the small date and the large date, but here's the kicker: some pennies were struck with a 1960 small date over a large date, creating a rare and valuable overdate variety. This is the kind of mistake collectors go wild for, like a printing error on a baseball card, but way cooler because it's actual money. Now here's where it gets exciting: a pristine version of this rare error coin sold for a whopping $1 million at auction. Why? Because serious collectors are always looking for the best of the best. A coin like this in top-notch condition is rarer than finding a parking spot at the mall on Black Friday. Alright, story time. A few years ago, my buddy found an old coffee can filled with pennies at his grandpa's house. He almost dumped them into a Coinstar machine, but I stopped him, and we decided to go through them. Instead of a jackpot, we found a bunch of crusty cents, but you better believe I double-checked every single one. That could have been the moment we struck gold, or copper in this case. So how do you know if you've got one of these $1 million beauties? Grab a magnifying glass and check the date. If you see a faint outline of the large date underneath the small date, you might just have a winner. And if you do, don't spend it on a gumball machine. Get it graded immediately by a reputable coin grading service. Before we wrap this up, let me hit you with some pro coin collecting wisdom. Always check your change, always inspect your old coin jars, and never ever assume a penny is just a penny, because that little guy could be worth a mansion. If you love hunting for valuable coins and want more tips on finding money where you least expect it, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on a chance to discover hidden treasure. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin and what you did with it.